Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another video in which we are going to learn about number methods in Dart programming. So guys, these are some of the methods that we are going to check with the help of examples as far as number data type is concerned in Dart programming. So guys, the very first method is ABS, that is absolute, followed by open and close brackets. So guys, this one returns the absolute value of a number. So let's say if you are having a negative number, so it will return a positive number. So let us check this with the help of example. Let's say we have a variable a which is having a negative value of 11. So when we print the value of a, okay, let's save this file and run this code. So Dart keyword followed by Dart program name dot extension, that is dot Dart. So as you can see, the value of a, okay, we have not provided the value of a over here. We will put it as $a. Let's save this file and run this code. So as you can see, the value of a is negative 11. So guys, in case you have negative numbers over here in any of the variables and you want to put it as a positive number, so what you can do is you can use the absolute method. So let us check this, how you can use them. So what you can do is inside the curly braces, you can use this a followed by dot abs and then open and close brackets. So guys, this is the way that you can use the methods, that is a dot followed by the method name. So let us save this file and try running this code. So as you can see, the value of a is 11. Guys, there is another way in order to use this method. So what we can do is, let's say we have another variable b, and what we can do is a dot absolute. Okay, so we can use this method with a, and then what it will do is it will return the new value and store it in b, and then we can use this b's value in order to print. So we'll remove this and instead of a we will put b. Let's save this file. I'll put this as b over here and the value of b is $b. I'll save this file and run this code. So as you can see, the value of b is 11. Let's take another example. Let's say we have a value as negative 20. I'll save this file and run this code. So it is giving us the value of b is 20. So guys, in this way, if there is any negative number, you can change it to a positive number using the absolute method. Guys, it also works with a decimal number as well. Let's say we have a decimal number of negative 20.14. Let's save this file and try running this code. So as you can see, the value of b is 20.14, and even if there is no negative number, let's say if it is a positive number 20.14, I'll save this file and run this code. So as you can see, it will give us the positive number only. So guys, absolute method is used in order to get a positive number out of a negative number or a positive number out of a positive number as well. Let us check another method. We have ceil method, which returns the least integer not smaller than the number. So guys, what we will do over here is we will provide the ceil function. So what this will do is it will take a as the number, that is 20.14, and then we have the ceil method. So guys, what this will do is the next integer it will take. So after 20, what is the next integer that is coming? It is 21. So let us save this file and try running this code. I'll clear the screen. So as you can see, the value of b is 21. The value is stored in this b variable, and this b variable we are printing on the screen. Guys, what happens if we put it as 20.01? So I'll save this file and let's try running this. So as you can see, again it is 21. And what if we provide a integer value over here? I'll provide it as 20. So the value of b is 20. So since it is not a decimal value that we have provided over here, it is an integer value. So the next integer value is nothing but it is 20 again. But in case we have something like 20.0001, let's save this file and try running this code. It should give us the next integer, that is the value of b is 21. And guys, in this way you can use the ceil method as well. Let us move to another method. So compares this to the other number. So guys, let us take another variable over here. Let's say we have a variable a which is 20, and let's say we have a variable c which is equal to 21. And what we will do is a dot compare to method we will use, and inside these open and close brackets we are supposed to provide another variable or an integer against which we want to compare this integer. So guys, I will provide this the value of c, and then we'll store it in a variable b. So let's save this file and try running this code. So we have missed a semicolon over here. So let's save this file and run this code. So as you can see, the value of b is -1. So guys, what is happening over here is the value of a is taken, that is 20, and then we are comparing it with c, that is 21. And then what happens is either it will return a -1 or +1 or 0. So in case the a, that is this value, is less than the value of c, then -1 will be returned. In case a is greater than c, then +1 will be returned. And in case a is equal to c, then 0 will be returned. So guys, let us check another example. Let's say we have this as 30. So what will happen is 30 minus 21, which is 9, which is a positive number. So it will return +1. So let us save this file and try running this code. So as you can see, the value of b is 1. Now let us check another example. Let's say the value is equal. So let's say a is 21 and c is also 21. Let's save this file and try running this code. So as you can see, the value of b is 0, which means both of them are equal. And in this way, you can use the compare to method as well. Let us move to another method. Let's see the floor method, which returns the greatest integer not greater than the current number. So as we have seen in the ceil method over here, it returns the next integer. The floor method will return the previous integer in this case. So let us check another example. Let's say we have 21.0001 as the value of variable a, and then we will use the floor method over here. So a dot floor. Let's save this file and try running this code. So as you can see, the value of b is 21. Since we have put 21 and then the floor value will be 21. What happens if we have this as 21.99? Let's save this file and try running this code. So as you can see, the value of b is 21. It will return the same integer which is previous to this 21, which is 21 itself. So guys, this floor method is opposite to ceil method. In ceil method, we would get for the same number as 22. So I'll change this to ceil. Let's save this file and try running this code. So as you can see, the value of b is 22. So the ceil of 21.99 will give us 22, whereas the floor of 21.99 will give us 21. So both of these will return an integer value, but it depends on which method we are using over here. Let us move to another method. As you can see, we have the remainder method, which returns the truncated remainder after dividing the two numbers. So let us see this with the help of example. Let's say we have 20 over here as the value of a, and we have 5 over here as the value of c. So what we will do is we will provide a dot remainder, and then inside that we will put c. Let's save this file and try running this code. So as you can see, the value of b is 0. So guys, what is happening over here is 20 is divided by 5, and then whatever remainder is there, that is stored in the variable b. Now let us see another example. Let's say we put the value of c as 6. So what will happen is the quotient in this case, that is 20 divided by 6, will give us 3, whereas the remainder will be 2, and the same value of 2 will be stored in this variable b. So let us save this file and try running this code. So as you can see, the value of b is 2, and in this way you can use the remainder method in order to get the remainder of the division. Let us check more methods of the numbers. So as you can see, we have round method, which returns the integer closest to the current number. So guys, this will either return the next integer or the previous integer based on the decimal point that we are using. So to give you an example, let's say we have 20.14, and then we want to use the round method over here. So as you can see, a dot round, this will return the integer value. Now which integer value? It depends on this number after the decimal point. So let's save this file and try running this code. In this case, since it is 20.14, it should return 20, since that is the closest integer to this particular decimal value. So as you can see, the value of b is 20. Let's say we have the value as 20.65. So the next closest integer value will be 21 to this double value. I'll save this file and try running this code. So as you can see, the value of b is 21, and in this way we can use the round method as well in Dart programming for this number. Let us check some more methods over here. As you can see, 2 double, it returns a double equivalent of the number. then toInt returns the integer equivalent of the number, and toString returns a string equivalent representation of the number. So guys, these are nothing but these convert the integer either to a double, to a int, or a string value. And then the last method is truncate. It returns an integer after discarding any fractional digits. And guys, in this way you can use these methods. For these last 4 methods you can try out by yourself and understand what the functionality is for these methods. Guys, it is very important that you practice all these methods so that it becomes easy when you want to use them in the actual requirements. So guys, that's it in this video. Please make sure that you like this video so that it reaches to more people, and subscribe to this channel so that you get the notifications on the upcoming videos as well. The next video that we are going to talk about is string variables and methods in Dart programming. So stay tuned.